We're gonna do a sick morning reading vlog because bitch cannot speak right now. This is what I read. This is how much we have left. Good morning. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lainey, and as you could tell, oh my god, I think this video is gonna be needed some sort of captions or subtitles or whatever because bitch cannot speak right now. Whoa. As you can tell from my voice, I am sick. It is currently Thursday right now, and I've been sick since Saturday. All my other symptoms, other than a sore throat, has yet to go away. And every morning so far, my voice is like this, and it's shot, but as I'm drinking water and talking a little bit more, it starts to clear up. It's definitely sounding better than even when I woke up like 20 minutes ago, so that's a good sign. But I thought today, because I ended up waking earlier than I expected. I woke up at 8:39. I haven't woke up at like 8 something in like a month or so. So because shit, all my things are tingled up, my charms. Fuck. It's not tingled up, it's stuck with hair. My little sister's braid extension hair is like maroon color. I was like, wait, it's never been like stuck before. It's because there's friggin' her hairpiece in here. This is what happens when you leave it on the couch instead of putting it away like you're supposed to. Because I woke up earlier than I expected, and that means I have a good like hour and a half more than I typically do in the mornings, at least as of recently. I thought we'll do a little morning. We're gonna do a sick morning reading vlog together, and I'm excited because I've only been reading very sparsely for the last couple of days, and this will be a great opportunity to be able to read more, even if it's just for about an hour. Because though I have more time to myself this morning, there are important things that I do need to do, so I can't take too much of this time. I still have more hair. I'm gonna figure that out later. Anyways, so let's get into the possible books we could be reading. I'm trying to over strain and talk so I can hear what I'm actually saying, because I think with editing I'm gonna do captions and stuff so you guys can be able to hear what I'm saying. But if I just talk kind of chill like this, I don't think, or like go even like I was talking since I woke up, I don't think I'll be able to pick up on the words to be able to put it in the captions. I have some physical options as well. I'm gonna go get that, and then we'll go over some of my options here for books. All right, so I ended up finishing So Let Them Burn. If you saw this from the channel last year, I finished it the last day of 2025. I believe I showed this a little bit in my recent video because I listened to it and also physically read it. So because I started a book talk account this year for in 2026, I want to do book reviews. So I'm gonna film one for this one, even though technically it was at the end of 2025, because I'm gonna be reading the sequel really soon. Within like I should not let February finish and haven't read the sequel yet. I want to be able to have a part 1 for the series, so I'm gonna do that. My first book of 2026 is Are You Sarah? Mystery thriller. There are 2 Sarahs, one spelled with an H, one spelled without the H. The one spelled with an H also goes by Ellis, so that's what she's called throughout the book. Ellis and Sarah end up switching ride shares, like Uber rides, and they end up going to the opposite house. So when Sarah realizes that she's basically like in the richer side of town and she makes her way back to her apartment, Ellis is dead. She doesn't know if that Sarah Ellis was supposed to die that night or if it was her, because it was her apartment. So she doesn't know if Ellis was there, if it was like a wrong person, wrong time type of thing, or was Ellis always supposed to die that night. So we get these kind of like POV shots. It's not equally dual POV, but Sarah Ellis has her POV in this book, and it's leading up to her death. And then the main Sarah, she has a past POV and a present POV. because it could be someone from our main Sarah's past that killed Sarah Ellis, and then obviously the present POV, kind of leading up to figuring out who killed Sarah Ellis in general. But anyways, those are finished. I want to do, see, as I'm talking and I'm about to go have my warm water, and I'm also going to be drinking tea on top of that. Like, my voice is clearing up, so that's great. Because I was working after school. I was like afraid that my voice was going to be shot the whole time, but I just needed to like warm up. So we have Neighbors. I've been listening to this on audio on my walks. I started walking to work. It's about 55 minutes. I think walking in the cold, I've been wearing a mask to walk to work because it's cold, and walking for 55 minutes I'm breathing in cold air. But Friday I forgot to wear a mask, and I think that is what got me sick. So I haven't been taking walks since. So I've been listening to this audio last week. I read a couple pages on Monday physically. I brought the book with me to work, and then I haven't touched this yet or touched it since, so we might go with that. But essentially it's about a lady named Margaret. She's kind of been a recluse and been alone and trapped in her home, and she has these two like property managers slash caretakers, and they've been stealing from her, but she never noticed. And now an earthquake has happened, and Margaret has opened up her home to other people, and the two caretakers don't like that fact because, one, they think that these people are like dangerous, and that's what they're telling Margaret, but really they don't want Margaret to be around other people. And they also see that Margaret is slowly changing. She's being a little bit more happier. She feels like useful, and she's opening up to people. She's leaving the house now for the first time in like 14-15 years to help survivors of the earthquake in other places, and then she'll make her way back home. And they don't like the fact because then they won't be needed anymore, and they've been stealing from her the whole time. So I'm on chapter 4, around page I think 95 or so. I think 95 or 96 in the audiobook, but I backtracked on Monday and restarted chapter 4, and so physically I'm on page 92. So we have this as an option, and then we have King of Ash as my other option that I could be reading. So it's about Roman, who finds out that his father was in a hit and run accident, and he hasn't been to his hometown of Jefferson Run, Virginia in a minute now. And when he gets there, his sister Nevaeh is the one who calls him to tell him the news. When he gets there, he finds out that his brother Dante is in heated waters with these gang members, and he tries to kind of help Dante, and it ends up making the situation worse. And the gang members like cut off his little brother's pinky and beat up Roman himself. Dante is in debt due to using up all the drugs that the gang brothers gave to him. So after their meeting that did not go great, and now they owe even more money to the gang brothers, Roman gave them some sort of like month trial run, because like Roman's like a financial advisor. So he gave them that thing, but like secretly he's going through other ways to basically go against and fight back the gang members, and I think like kill them and stuff like that. So because they're very different types of vibes. But I will say I haven't read a physical book in a minute now. Monday was the first time I read physically, I guess, since Stolen and Burn, because I listened to all of Are You Sarah on my walks. So I think we're gonna do Neighbors. Obviously I have the audiobook still. I still have it borrowed on Libby because I was listening to it up till last Friday. So if I want to tandem read, I can, but I think we're gonna read physically, because I've been doing a lot of audio and I've been doing a lot of digital. Last time I read King of Ashes was Monday or Tuesday or something like that. So I think we're gonna go with Neighbors, and also I think I just want like a little bit of a lighter read. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go make my warm water to drink, and then while I'm drinking that, my tea can sit and brew, and we'll get started on doing some reading. Right, so I have my warm water. This is my third time and my second day drinking warm water. So Yeah, I don't know. um, I was gonna drink that and then immediately drink tea after, but I'm already feeling warm. Like I have my top sheet here from the bed. I brought it over here because I was a little bit cold, so I was like warming up myself before I recorded the little intro, and then I got very warm. So it just hit like 9 o'clock. It's like probably like 9:10 or something now. Um, so I'm just gonna drink this, and then I have my regular cold water. I'm gonna drink that, let my body like cool off, and then drink tea. I don't think I want to do two hot drinks like back to back. I turned the TV on to have a reading vlog in the background, but I'm only gonna read for like, actually I'm gonna only read for like 40 minutes now because 40 minutes because I was talking to my sister and stuff, so time got away from me. I can't read for a full hour anymore. And I turned the TV on PBS Kids is always like the channel that it is on like live TV because I tend to like watching PBS Kids in the morning as like a like something to have, but nothing distracting. Or it's like on ABC or like Ion or something. But it's on PBS Kids, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm not gonna go through the house, so I don't have time to spend finding a vlog to be watching right now. So we're just gonna read, and yeah. There's definitely a lot of characters to juggle. When I was listening to the book originally, they were saying all these names, and I was like, oh my god. I really wish I started it physically because I have to like read these words and like read these names and put it in my head because I like sometimes, especially when I was on my walk, it's like I would like doze off and then I would have to like rewind a couple of times because like would then forget what I was just listening to. So in the beginning there was a lot of names to juggle, but like now it's fine. You have there's a blind musician named Arthur, and then you have this like he's not really his caretaker, but kind of his name is Peter. He's an aspiring writer. And then you have Joe and Ava, and Joe's kind of like this like snobby rich guy, and Ava is kind of like his girl, but like not really. He's not one for commitment, and they keep emphasizing that he doesn't keep a girl longer than 2 years, and he's already had Ava for about 2 years and a half. So even she knows that like soon all of this will end with him, and he's like, yeah, he's very weird. Meredith, Ava, and this other lady named Tyla end up leaving the house to go help out with survivors of the earthquake. And when they came back, Joe said something like, "Oh, Ava, if you want to help somebody, you could have stayed here and helped me," or some like dumb rude line like that. What did he say? He said, "Hey, babe, if you want to help, you can help me put my office back together. You don't have to go to some school with a lot of filthy homeless people. There are others who can do that." And then she said, she was like, "You have people for that. Like, other people, like, they need help." And then, other than Arthur and Peter, blind musician and writer, Joe and Ava, rich guy girlfriend, there's Andrew and Tyla and their two kids. Andrew he works at the hospital, very abusive. And Tyla is the mother, right? The wife, the mother. And Andrew's very like, how do I say, like he projects his worst, like the worst fears, or like he has all these like assumptions of Tyla. So when Andrew was out, the night of the earthquake, Andrew stayed a little bit and then he immediately went to work. When he came back the next morning, he just assumed that Tyler was sleeping around with the men of like who came to stay with Meredith and was like talking shit about him and stuff like that. And she was like, what the, and then, you know, like he's grabbing her and she has like bruises and stuff like that. And even right now, after Meredith, Ava, and Tyler came back from helping with the survivors and at the shelter and stuff, and they're eating, he basically signals to her to go upstairs. And then he makes the kids go upstairs too, and he puts the kids in the bathroom, locks the door, gives them their iPad, and makes them put their headphones in. And then, you know, he's over here hitting Tyler. So this is kind of the dynamics that we have in the house. Obviously, the worst one is Andrew for sure. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, it's just like Tyler didn't even have time to recover before he hit her just as hard again. Lord of mercy. Her nose is bleeding, her eyes are glazed. There are hatred in her eyes, but there was unbridled rage in his. He says, how dare you go down to that filthy place without my permission? You probably got lice and God knows what else. He was upset earlier when he heard about it too, because he was like, you just left her kids here while you just like went out. And I was like, because I believe she was a nurse before her and Andrew fully got together. That's how she met. And she's not a nurse anymore. So she kind of felt like, you know, useful, similar to Meredith. She goes, I administered first aid all day. She said weekly, I'm a nurse. You're nothing. You probably don't even know how to put a bandage on by now. You haven't worked in 11 years. You left our kids with that bitch of a housekeeper all day. And a blind man. Are you insane? Tyler didn't answer. He wanted to control every second of her day, and anything that might give her pleasure or make her feel good about herself was forbidden to her. Oh my God, I feel so bad for this girl. Anyways, I'm talking a lot and I'm not reading as much. I'm on 95 now. I started on 92. I am going to play the audiobook because I'm not going to have the full hour anymore. I'm going to play the audiobook so I can get through as much as possible. Yeah, anyways, okay. That's that. I'm gonna continue reading and I'll update if necessary. If not, I'll just talk all the way at the end. Oh, Lord.
Pants and long sleeves. He had been beating her for almost 10 years now. For a long time, she thought it would get better, but now she knew it never would. It had gotten significantly worse after Daphne was born. She wanted to leave him, but she saw no way out. She hadn't worked in 11 years since Will was born. Andrew didn't want her to, so she had no money to go anywhere or escape. She couldn't ask her family for help. They needed what they had for themselves and their children. And the only money she had was the allowance Andrew gave her for the house.
finished. I added an extra 15, but then I ended up finishing the chapter with 5 minutes to spare. So I'm not going to start the next chapter because it's 28 minutes long. I didn't count how many pages, but we're just going to stop there at the top of chapter 7, page 133. So we read a good amount from, like, I think I said, 92 in chapter 4. So I quite like that. And I'm going to start getting ready for the day. So I thought I'll take my hair out and update you guys, get 2 tasks done at the same time, I guess. One of the characters I forgot to mention. Oh, hello. Was a guy named Charles. He is some guy who works, I think he's a retired, what was it, a Marine or something? He's a former military officer, and the summary says near the end, and thanks to the suspicion and the dog detective work of a disaster relief volunteer, a former military officer named Charles, a shocking truth about her own world is exposed, her being Meredith. So he's one of the characters I forgot. He didn't stay with them post-earthquake, but he came back and forth because, you know, he's a volunteer and he's been helping a lot of, like, people affected by the earthquake. At the time of the story now, chapter 6, everyone has left Meredith's house, and she's been having all these, like, outings outside of the house. So even if all of them left and he's like, oh, okay, you know, like, in terms of, like, the caretakers, you know, they all left so, like, things can go back to normal. Meredith is, like, having outings outside. So, Arthur, the blind musician, he was having his concert, so they all got invited, so they hanged out there. And then Tyla, she invites Meredith over for dinner, so she had that. And then a third date in a row, Meredith got asked out on a date by Charles, the retired military guy. And so she had her little outing with that for a third time in a row. She's, like, feeling great about herself. And Meredith has been through a lot too. I didn't mention her past. Meredith had a son who passed. Well, her husband had an affair, and then a couple months later, her son passed due to her husband's negligence. Her son did not like the husband and, you know, this lady who was gonna be, like, his stepmom, who was, like, an actress on the husband's set because he was an actor director, and he ended up letting the son manage and sail this boat, which Meredith refused to do. And then a storm came and it capsized, and he got thrown overboard and he drowned. And Meredith also has a daughter who's still alive. So the daughter blames Meredith's reaction to her son's death, and Meredith blaming the father. Her daughter Kendall sees Meredith in a bad light because of that, because she absolutely loves her father. And Meredith is like, you know, obviously, like, it was due to her emotions because she just lost her son, but she's also like, why it's the father's fault that your brother died. But, like, her sister kind of refused to see that. She blames her mother for the death and, like, the aftermath and the mother's emotion and how she, like, processed it and everything. And then it's right around then where the caretakers get into Meredith's life, and, you know, they're basically using that fact that after that Meredith stopped acting and she just kind of, like, hid herself in her house to take advantage of Meredith. And, you know, they were doing, like, they had a plan to try to get rid of the people as early as more sooner than they actually left by lying that one of them stole stuff, but Meredith wasn't gonna really, like, she wasn't believing that. But now they were only there for about a month, some a little bit less than that, and it was like one by one they ended up leaving the house. And, like, a month later, post earthquake, you know, they're gone now. They're back to their own house, their own lives, and we still got a good amount of book left. This is what I read. This is how much we have left. I thought the majority of this was going to be the earthquake, and it was going to span, like, I guess, like, the whole month throughout the book. So I'm interested to see what else there is, like, more, because there is stuff that, like, need to be found out, like Andrew's abuse towards Tyla, the caretaker stealing from Meredith. Like, those stuff need to be found out. I thought that was going to be revealed while they're all trapped in this house together, but because they're seeing each other outside the house now, the earthquake is gone, unless there's, like, gonna be another one. I guess all those stuff will just get revealed you know, while they're living their lives. And like the bottom part of the description of the book says, Charles is already putting the idea in Meredith's head that her caretakers are like bad news. So some investigation of that might come about. We get early on in the book, within like the first 2 pages of the book, you realize the caretakers deal, and you realize early on they steal from Meredith. It's like said early on within like the first 2 pages of the book, and then they also gave them their like back story about like how they came to like be with Meredith, how they came to like kind of like do stuff like that. So I feel like Charles will investigate them and find it all out, and like give it to Meredith. Yeah, it's very tense, and I'm intrigued to see how this goes, how much further it goes. But that is the book so far. I don't know how long the book is, but in terms of audio wise, I think we have like 3 or so hours left. But yeah, that is Neighbors. That's my thoughts so far. A bit on the plot. Like I said, I'm intrigued to continue it. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish my hair up, get ready, and I'll close off the video properly soon. Hi. It is editing me. It has been about 2 weeks since I filmed this video. I never did an outro. Sorry, things have changed, but I wanted to properly close off this video here. As of me doing this outro, I finished Neighbors today. Quick rating, I'm probably gonna give it like a 3. I still have to sit on it because I just finished it like maybe 3 or 4 hours ago. But regardless, this video is over. I'm slowly getting better. I've been sick for about 2.5 weeks, which is literally insane. I'm getting better. Catch you in another one. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.